Hey there, so this is another video for you to leverage your life psychic style. In this video, I'm going to now go through the archetype of Scorpio so that you can work out how this energy plays out in your birth chart, but way more importantly than that, you can work out how you can leverage this archetype of Scorpio in its highest potential to help you create whatever it is that you're trying to create. So, I love the highest potential of Scorpio because it's totally badass on an emotional level. Basically, what it will do is it will penetrate to the core of anything so that it can kind of like get to the very center of whatever that thing is, and from that center point focus all of its energy on whatever it is that it's trying to create or whatever it is that it's trying to destroy. Essentially, what you got to think about with this archetype is with emotions, and specifically with emotions, it will kind of get every part of its emotional energy to be in one like laser beam line, and then it will stay the course of that laser beam line for as long as it needs to until it creates the desire or the outcome that it's looking for. And it's it's intense. It's definitely intense. You want to think about it as like I don't know why I like Star Wars analogies, but I totally do. But you want to think of it as like, the lightsaber, basically. And, it's kind of like Scorpio can go from the lightsaber just like not doing anything, just suddenly switching on the lightsaber, and then there's that beam of energy, and it's got that sound, and you just know, like, bam, that is powerful shit. And that's kind of what Scorpio will do with its emotional energy. It can go from having no emotion to something to then suddenly like, boom, all intense, all emotion, all on red 23, that kind of thing. So another way to visualize this too would be like, it's kind of like, and my brother told me this once was something that I was doing, and it really fucking made me laugh. It's like, say, when you've got a magnifying glass, and like say you're following an ant on the floor or something like that, and then the sunlight comes into the magnifying glass and it hits the magnifying glass in such a way that it can almost like start to burn a hole in whatever it's looking at. And this is what Scorpio will do. It will kind of have like the magnifying glass with all of its feelings and everything, or its focus and its direction is the magnifying glass, and then like the beam of light from the sunlight, that sunlight beam is kind of like the emotional energy of Scorpio, and it will just focus it all on that laser beam or all on that magnifying glass, which then literally focuses on whatever it's looking at, and it will just follow that fucker until it gets it. So say like that ant that's kind of running away as you're kind of using this magnifying glass, and there's like that burning like laser beam of light that's following it. That is how I can describe the highest potential of Scorpio energy. But there is one other thing that Scorpio energy absolutely owns in its highest potential, so that it can constantly do this thing of death and rebirth kind of thing. And what that is that basically it somehow has the epic emotional intelligence to be able to focus all of its energy on this one point, and then when it comes to the point of true transformation, where whatever it's focusing on is starting to come into reality, while at the same point the old parts of it that have to no longer be there, if it wants to have this new life or this new experience, start to destroy, there's like a really unstable point. And this is the most amazing thing with the Scorpio archetype. It knows in that moment that it can just completely surrender, and it's almost like it can drop that intensity so then it can flow into the next part of whatever that stage is of creation, while still holding the emotional gravitas of what it is it's focusing on. Like, it's epically awesome, and it's really, really key that if you want to use this Scorpio archetype in its highest potential, you have to be able to do the whole focusing with emotion and make that really, really intense and kind of badass. But then you've got to know the moment when the real transformation's happening, when you literally have to surrender. And so you suddenly almost have to go from like, once again, that lightsaber beam like totally activated to suddenly deactivate it while still knowing what you're focusing on. That would like be the surrender point. And then as soon as you've got back over the surrender point into the new thing that you're creating, switch back on the lightsaber, which would be the intense emotional focus for what it is you're creating. I mean, fuck me, that even sounds complicated when I'm saying it, but this is critically key if you are trying to create anything that you have a really strong burning desire for. You're going to have to be able to work out and know how to leverage this part within you so that you can literally go from like I say, like huge emotional intensity and focus on something, to then switching it off to go into the like surrender stage so you can flow, and then switching it back on again when you've got over that surrender place back into the direction of the thing that it is that you're wanting to create. And this is the other bit, you may have to do that multiple times to stay completely on track with what it is that you're trying to create. I mean, serious respect when you can do this, but also this is how you'll be a seriously powerful manifester with whatever it is that you're trying to create. So it's totally worth taking some time to invest and play with this part and this archetype within you. So as always, just basically see where Scorpio falls in your birth chart. It might be over 1 or 2 or 3 houses depending. Then look in my description bit below where I basically explain the areas of life that these houses are related to, and then work out if you find it easy to access that highest potential of Scorpio in those areas of your life, or if you find it quite challenging. And that will depend on aspects to your chart, but also most importantly, like fuck the birth chart. Just know that you can use this quality within you whenever you want, because it is a part of you as it is a part of everybody else, and it's just understanding how to refine it and make it a potent part of you so that you can really work with it whenever you choose to. So yeah, I hope that made sense despite like different analogies, but I'm sure one of them will probably make sense to you. If not, don't worry about it, but enjoy playing with it. So cool.